Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Tuesday, the 11th of October 2022. I am Spirit of Life Alchemy, and this is your morning message tarot reading. So we have we have astrology. The moon is going to be in Taurus all day, so grounded, simplicity, connecting to nature, simple pleasures, comfort, nice nourishing food and things like that, taking care of our own needs. We have Mercury entering or re-entering Libra after his retrograde cycle. So we're moving into an energy of communication in relationships and around relationships. And then the sun is going to be Quincunx, Uranus. So I did briefly mention this yesterday with all the cards that came out of the environment and the subconscious. Be prepared for surprises, shocks, breakthroughs, liberation, sudden aha moments coming to the surface, old structures falling away, anything like that could happen. Okay, so even more reason to look after yourself and take care of your energies today. Okay, let's do some cards for today. So what have we got? We've got the Work Your Light cards, and then I'm going to use the Light Seers. So what do we need to know for today, Tuesday the 11th of October? God, my brain. Still got a bit of a full moon madness going on, I think. What do we need to know for today, Tuesday the 11th of October? Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support, guidance, hope can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know? Yeah, how's everybody holding up with after yesterday's energies, which seemed fine on the surface, but then when we looked into the subconscious, there was a lot going on, wasn't there? Okay, so we've got Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Okay, so this is a card for all the light beings, the star seeds, that feel like you don't fit in, feel like you weren't meant to be on this planet, and yearn to be back with our galactic family on easier planets. Align your life. What is not aligned needs what is not aligned or needs to change. Okay, so again, that could be tied into that because we all agreed to be down here at this time to help to birth the new earth. Okay, so aligning your life, finding out what's not aligned, what's not in tune with your values, with your core self, and also sort of aligning with others on the same frequency or similar frequency. It makes a huge difference. For years I struggled on my own. And now finding community and support and mentors and things like that, it makes a huge difference. It's like having a mirror, people that see me as I truly am and reflect that back at me, rather than all the self-sabotage and the distorted illusions that we have of ourselves. It's like, yeah, it makes a huge difference and it's wonderful. So yeah, if you are feeling a bit like that, then reaching out to community of like-minded, like-hearted, like-souled others. And then in a temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Well, that's just exactly the way to go about doing it. Okay, this feels like it's definitely following on from yesterday's reading. What was coming up from the subconscious was all the things that weren't aligned, okay, where we're out of sorts, where we're holding on to those illusions and delusions and distortions of who we think we are. this is asking us to connect to our heart and to see who we really are. The amazing light workers and star seeds and spiritual light beings that we truly are. Okay, so put the moon card back in here, thank you. I didn't actually use those yesterday as I intended to use them. Doesn't matter though. Okay, so what do we need to know for today, please? What do we need to know for Tuesday, the 11th of October 2022? Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? Help and hope, support and guidance, advice. What do we need to know? Oops. We're going to leave that. The star. Healing, Aquarian energy, and wishing upon a star, connecting to our starseed self, our souls, the galactic centre, the galactic sun, everything, all the spiritual stuff. So I can't remember if I've done this or not, so we've done it again. Shake the energies up. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands in the centre with Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Wands, which didn't come out yesterday. It's out today. The Hanged Man, Three of Swords out yesterday, out today. Knight of Pentacles out yesterday, and the Two of Wands. Okay, and then at the bottom we have the Two of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands and the Magician. Going to bring the Seven of Pentacles out as well, and the King, and Death, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. We have got the Moon there as well. That might come out, because I was talking yesterday about sort of the lunar. Yeah, we're going to have the Moon, and we've got the Four there as well, and the Three. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the background and below the surface. It seems when you get lots of cards that come out from the bottom of the deck, this is a story of what's going on subconsciously. Take that. We've got the Justice card as well, and the Hierophant. So this is, yeah, that's it. This is the whole story. Okay, it's a bit more positive than yesterday's one. If you showed up and you did the work yesterday, then this is showing the results. Okay, so yeah, we've got the star energy here, the hope, the optimism, the healing. Okay, and what that brings about is the Ace of Wands, the initiation of new vision, new insight, new possibilities. Okay, as we let go the lower frequency, the lower vibration stuff, let that fall away, see past the illusion and delusion of who we think we are, who we've been told we are, who, you know, sort of the stuff that weighs us down. As we release that, we connect into this third eye energy and possibility and vision and wonder. Okay, and it brings us to a choice point. Okay, this is also review and reflection. So yeah, carrying on from those energies. Yesterday we could, you know, be still reviewing and reflecting them, having a look at sort of, you know, the past and how we've been. Also with Mercury entering Libra again after it's sort of retrograde back into Virgo. It feels like that transition of energy. So sort of coming back, we're going forward again. It's starting to pick up pace. And after sort of, say, critiquing, after the critiquing of Mercury in Virgo, we're now going forward and looking at how we communicate in relationships. And that's relationships to ourselves as well as to other people. Okay. And sort of we're evolving, we're aligning our life and connecting to the heart, our inner temple. Okay. And that allows us to build foundations on secure foundations. We're feeling safe, we feel connected, and this might not be the traditional, family, career, money in the bank things, because I think that's going to be very much less important as we move to this into the age of Aquarius and ascend into the 5D. I think it's more about connecting on a heart level and having that inner home and that inner security and being heart centered, and especially because we've got the 10 of Cups out here as well. Okay, so I think it's sort of less about what it looks like on the outside and more about that connection internally. And that might bring some conflict, might make us question things, especially as when we look at the outer world, it looks like everything's spiralling out of control more and more. I don't know sort of where you are in the world, but I know in the UK we're sort of galloping towards a winter of the cost of living crisis, probably with the most incompetent government ever to deal with that at the moment. And I know lots and lots of people are really concerned about it and worried how they're going to pay bills, how they're going to feed themselves and things like that. It's more than niggling energy, but that people are really worried about how they're going to deal with things like that. So to say sort of connecting to your heart and the elevated energies, that might seem a touch difficult to do. And part of the work is that trusting, that looking at things from a different perspective. This part of releasing the old paradigm, the 3D world, is even when it looks like the chaos and everything out there, it's that peace and calm and connection in the heart, and to just keep bringing yourself back to that and seeing the world from that perspective. It is faith, it is trust. And this is why I was saying yesterday, I was saying up here, wasn't I, about sort of connecting into communities and into tribes for that support of like-minded, like-souled people that can sort of just really keep you balanced at this time, because it's very easy to just spiral out of control. If you're watching the news or, on social media and things like that, it can feel and seem like we're heading to catastrophe, into that chaos and conflict. But if we can look beyond that and into the new potential, which is already forming. There's communities all over the globe, and I've been following this for years now, and I'm seeing more and more of the connections coming together, and connecting in, and groups connecting in with other groups, and the star seeds and the light workers, and the ones of us that are here to help birth this new earth, the coming together. Okay, so it is connecting into yourself, connecting into others, and And also for me, I'm seeing it about sort of also connecting into nature, to Gaia, who is also evolving at this time. And when we're connected in, we no longer feel alone. And as I was saying before, we see ourselves reflected back to us as we truly are, which makes a huge difference. Okay, so seeing things from a different perspective. Good old I nearly said three of hearts, three of swords up again. This might be this week's tower. After the tower coming out so much over the last week or so, it looks like sort of what it's revealed is the heart wounds. Okay. And so in working and healing the heart wounds, besides working with the star energy, step by step, showing up, doing the work with the Knight of Pentacles, and looking at the possibilities for the future with the Two of Wands. Who do you want to be? What do you want to create? Okay, what are the possibilities out there for you to look towards? Okay, so then we come to the underground, the subconscious energies. We've got the Two of Pentacles. We could be juggling backwards and forwards between this 3D, 5D energy. We feel okay, and then suddenly we're not. And I can relate to this because for sort of a very long time, when I was in community, I felt great and wonderful and I was seen. But then when I was back on my own, I would find myself falling back into sort of the old patterns and stories and things like that. But then gradually as I've built that connection with others, I find even sort of in my alone times and things like that, that support has transformed me. So I'm not falling back into those old patterns. That it's like sort of, I've made the transition, okay, after a long time of being backwards and forwards. The sort of the more you do it and the more you focus on it, the stronger you get. And one day you wake up and it's like you've crossed over the bridge to the other side. And we'll come back to that with the Hierophant. Okay, then we've got the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands can be feeling very vulnerable. It can be feeling very defensive, putting your wall up. But it can also be inner strength balanced with outer strength. I've talked about this before of going out into the world and being in the world where there's an equal balance of energies, not feeling weak and powerless, that the world around you crushes you, and not trying to storm through the world with will and control and very forceful. Bull in a china shop is the way I see it, and pushing the world and the universe out of your way. Neither of those approaches to work. It's about living in the energies and flowing and being in balance and harmony with those energies. Okay, and as we do that, it helps us to manifest. We have control. It's one of the paradoxes of the universe of, as sort of we gain control, we surrender. As we get in alignment, okay, we can create magic. Okay, and I'm glad that this has come out next to the Seven of Pentacles, because the images on these cards feel really sort of connected. We've got the Magician here, manifesting, over his life and creating things. And then in the Seven of Pentacles, the patience, letting things take its course, divine timing, etc. We've got this figure here also using their hand to send healing to the seeds that have been planted, and energetic frequency and vibration. So this is we're creating our magic from seeds, and it all comes together at the right time. And we never know when that's going to be until we pop out and we're there and it's like, oh my God. So yeah, and then sort of we come to the King of Cups. So we come into balance, emotional balance and harmony with ourselves, active in those balanced emotions, not easily sort of pushed off centre by the outer world, trusting our intuition, our emotions, knowing we've come like full journey to a place where we know we can trust ourselves. And just like the magician, it brings transformation. Okay, we've got the death card there. Okay, and as we transform, we connect into that emotional happy ever after, sort of we cross the bridge, we do the transformation, we find ourselves popping out the other side. It's very much connected to the lunar journey. I was talking yesterday about the full moon and how I felt the energies that were coming up yesterday were about us stepping day by day towards eclipse season, which starts on the 25th with the new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio. So from this place, then we start walking towards the new journey, and we have the Fool there. We're probably in a place where we're not going to get so dragged under as we might have been in the past. When we've got our emotions, when we're balanced emotionally, we have trust in ourselves, it's much more difficult to get sort of taken off centre and caught up into reaction and negativity and things. And we can start looking at what we want to manifest. We've got the Three of Wands here. Okay, how we're going to take those steps to the future, the possibilities of the Two of Wands, the taking action into the Three of Wands. And it causes a karmic readjustment, a karmic balance, and with the Justice card, and we connect to Source. We're able to live in the world, yet also exist in the 5D. It's like 1 foot in the 3D, 1 foot in the 5D, and being able to exist in both worlds equally balanced. So that's today's reading. There've been a couple of big ones, haven't they, this week so far? Yesterday's reading was really big. This feels really big. Look after yourself, reach out, find connection with others on the journey, and yeah, take care. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Click on the wiggly bell for notifications of when I'm releasing other readings. If you like a personal reading from me, then please email me at the email address below this video in the descriptions box. Have a wonderful day, and until tomorrow, thank you for watching.